So in previous episodes, I've mentioned some child-centered pedagogical approaches give the impression that direct instruction should be avoided at all costs. However, I've mentioned that we need to focus on whether such instruction is situated within a moment, like when I talked about G's situated learning and understandings, and whether or not it is actually needed by an individual or group of kids. So for example, if you haven't heard it yet, listen to the interview with John Stapleton. Like we kind of talk about direct instruction and how some novice teachers assume that they should avoid it at all costs. And what I recommend instead is to try and find some kind of a balance between exploration and discovery with direct instruction to kind of guide understanding rather than to lecture throughout an entire class. Now, the authors on page 220 make the following point. Quote, "We worry that an over-reliance on child-centered pedagogies that emphasize the avoidance of direct assistance overlooks the powerful role intentional teaching can play in challenging deficit ideologies and cultivating substantive experiences of intellectual dignity, as well as the need to make pedagogical structures visible within research, design, and professional development." End quote. And here's another quote from page 223 that elaborates on this a little. Quote, "There are existing threads within constructionist research suggesting that the theory and its application could benefit from a more nuanced perspective on the role of direct assistance and the social organization of making environments." End quote. So in other words, the authors also recommend not avoiding direct instruction entirely, but thinking of the more nuanced ways that you can use direct instruction to kind of guide kids towards understanding or to challenge some of the problematic assumptions or discourse that other people might have related to the subject area.
This excerpt was from CSK8 podcast number 18, which is titled Making Through the Lens of Culture and Power Toward Transformative Visions for Educational Equity. You can listen to the full episode as well as hundreds more at jaredoleary.com or by simply searching for the CSK8 podcast on your favorite podcast app so you can learn more about computer science education.